Hey guys, we're live. It's Sunday afternoon and it's just about 1 o'clock. And I'm checking out a message or two. Reading an interesting quote from Erwin Schrödinger. Most of us know Schrödinger from his famous thought experiment with the cat, the one most vegans don't like. Although it's easily changed. All we have to do is expect the cat to be alive, and it will be. That is supposed to be the nature of consciousness, how we consciousness is affected by thought. By rights, we could say that consciousness um, is the effect itself. Maybe that's not the best explanation. Let's do some Googling. So officially, scientifically, it demonstrates the idea in quantum physics that tiny particles can be in two states at once until they're observed. Hence, the cat is both alive and dead until observed, and that the observer affects the outcome of the thought experiment. That it's that interaction of consciousness that is affecting, and the intent, that our expectations, what we expect to see, is going to affect that. I know that is stretching stretching it a bit, and that today most quantum scientists don't want to give much thought to the direction that took. We can call it the New Age direction. However, we can also say we can't easily dismiss that New Age explanation either. The quote from Schrödinger that I was going to mention, the total number of minds in the universe is one. In fact, consciousness is a singularity phasing within all beings. There, I might say, for what little that's worth, that Schrödinger might be wrong. When you say that, in fact, consciousness is a singularity phrasing within all beings, it sort of causes a separation, a splitting, as my friend Robert Saltzman might say, between all beings and consciousness. All beings are consciousness itself. So, our friend Noble Scrolling Traveler is here. First like and comment, buddy. Hey, I appreciate that. I've had you up and playing today. In fact, I'm going to need to reset. Usually I put you on a playlist where I play you through. But lately what I've been doing is, because sometimes...
Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are...
Sometimes my computer will go into sleep mode and videos will stop playing. But if I put you on a single playthrough, unfortunately for me, you have some longer live stream sessions. So I can put you on a 3-hour, 4-hour play, and then just every, excuse me, every couple of hours to check it out. And if you're done, I click on another. So recently I just played Hello Beautiful People. So, two things. Right now, our friend It Is What It is doing, I don't know how many burpees. If you guys have not visited his channel, listen to his soundtrack, killer soundtrack, and picture perfect burpees. No one does them better. Then now's a chance to check him out. Also, for those who are here, for those who might pop in later, for those who are scrolling through, go check out Noble Scrolling Traveler. As a matter of fact, Noble, I'm going to give you a wrench, because that way, as I'm talking up your channel, people can easily click and go visit you. I think that does it. You are, I think, one of three people who officially have wrenches. I did not know what a wrench was until recently, and I didn't know what they did until recently. And now I'm going wrench crazy. I'm handing them out left and right. But it's an easy way for the people that I trust. People can click on the little wrench and go right to your, well, not right to, but they have that option of visiting your channel. And that way.
Oh, it's good, bro.
There you go.
I was sitting here like lightweight fun.
You know what? I'm not going to have that one on, because I believe that is on someone else's channel. Not that I mind giving someone else watch hours, but I want to make sure that we're getting them in for you. That's the priority. Noble says, how are you doing, brother? I'm doing pretty well. Man, an amazing day roaming the neighborhood woods. We saw some more owls in the daytime. Always amazing to catch in the daytime. I actually heard them early this morning when it was still dark, and then we were able to see them. Right now, the female owls are nesting, hatching the young, so they're sitting in the tree. Easier to spot in the daytime if you know where to look. And we saw some bluebirds. I got some great film shooting. You never know what to call it. I don't like calling it shooting. It's just a little too violent. I guess capture. We captured on film. And really good one of a woodpecker as well. I'm in search of my neighborhood beavers. Have yet to get any film of them. I know they're out there. I'm waiting for the groundhogs to emerge, be able to catch them. Our friend Flower is here. How are you? I ought to give Flower a wrench too. Flower has been an extremely supportive subscriber. Subscriber seems kind of a cold term, doesn't it? Flower is a friend. Noble is a friend. If you come here and you spend any time, you're a friend. And I don't care the reason why you come here. I have people who come here just to try to get a reaction. And it's always fun. It's always fun to work with those people. They never quite get the reaction I think they want, but they do get a reaction. You know, I laugh. We laugh. Everyone has a good time. Flower says, hi, how are you? I'm doing well. Flower, have you met Noble before? And Noble, have you met Flower? Hey, Flower, if you click on the wrench, you can subscribe to Noble. And he does some awesome live sessions. Noble is very animated. He brings a lot of life. Me, I sit here and I talk about, I don't know what I talk about. I talk about all kinds of stuff. But I am, by degrees, less animated than Noble. Less animated than most people. As a matter of fact, Mocha often is prone to checking my pulse to make sure that I'm animated at all. Let's see. Noble says, I feel honored to be a monkey wrench on the Noble Yogi's channel. Hey, speaking of Monkey Wrench, have you ever read the book, The Monkey Wrench Gang? Edward Abbey, highly, highly recommend it. So this is what we have up and running, as well as my friend It Is What It Is. I try to have several windows open for support people for channels that I care about. I was playing Smitty Deuce's 187 earlier. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm still playing Smitty. And Smitty is in our, he's almost at the 2-hour mark of playing Assassin. MW3 Zombies Grind. Says all day. He's going to be playing it all day. You know, gaming's underappreciated. It is it's a feat of endurance to play that game all day or for several hours. I couldn't do it. Well, maybe I could. I have a sort of a addictive personality. Flower says it only shows me report in black, so yeah, that's a big power. Flower says is YouTube lagging or I'm the only one here? People have been popping in and out. I know that Noble has not yet settled in with his internet. So sometimes he might be going in and out. Flower says also it's extremely hot in Burma right now. We have a heat wave or something. Huh. Burma's warm most of the year though, isn't it? Noble says I have not read the book, but have heard the song Monkey Wrench by Foo Fighters. I wonder if they wrote that with him in mind. The Monkey Wrench Gang is environmental fiction. Edward Abbey was a great outdoors writer, a great writer of, man, he was an anarchist. That's the whole monkey wrench. You throw a monkey wrench into the mix and it messes everything up, which was his response to what he considered eco-terrorism, the logging off of great acreage of forests, as well as clogging up canyons to create man-made lakes. Our friend Goldie is here. Hi there, lovely people. Listening at work. Flower is laughing. And Goldie says over 150 pizzas, 130 sandwiches made. Wow. That's a big day. What's, why, is that normal? And Goldie, I believe you already hooked up on Noble's channel. Goldie said, nope, it's not. Yeah, that seems like a big day. Flower says, I love me a pizza. I've not had pizza in several years. I used to do vegan pizza fairly frequently, every few weeks, especially after a race, after a big race, 50K or 50 miler. Noble says, hello, Goldie. Thank you for stopping by the live streams. Goldie is a, man, she's a great friend. Love having her stop in. Love our conversations. We approach things sometimes from different directions, but we both value what we hold true. I think we agree on the really big pictures, just different ways of arriving there. So I always appreciate her view. I always appreciate how she sees the world. Bryant says, hello, Eric, just got off Lewis's live. Yeah, I was there for a while. I had him up and playing. Is he still going on? And speaking of, I have your video queued up to watch, or your short. How I fasted and still did 125 burpees. So, hey, Noble, if you're still here, listen to this. This is from Brian, his YouTube short. How I fasted and still did 125 burpees, 475 push-ups, 225 jumping jacks, 125 squats, and jogged 2 miles. How's that for an active day? Gordy says, yes, I have Noble. Yeah, I remember seeing you there now that I think about it. Brian says, hello to everyone. And hey, Noble brother, how is the baseball? I haven't seen him announce for a little bit. Flower says, I was about to ask, say why you haven't eaten pizza. Then I remembered that you were a vegan, and then I remembered vegan pizza. Yes, vegan pizza is actually pretty good now. A lot of times people ask me, how does something taste? How does it compare to the original? How does a vegan hot dog compare to a regular hot dog? And the answer is, I don't know. I haven't had a regular hot dog in 15 years. So to me, it just tastes like it tastes. You know, if someone were to say, you know, to you, how does this taste compared to what you tasted 15 years ago? It would be hard to make that accurate comparison. It's K1 or a K-Oni. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I apologize. Says, hello everyone in the chat. How are you doing today, host? I'm doing well, my friend. How are you? Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. Flower is saying hi to Sir Brian. Sorry, something in my eye. And Brian says, yeah, he's still going. It is what it is, Lewis. He is a machine for sure. Yep, I got him still up here. I see him getting his reps in. You know, having these Noble, one of the inspirations for getting you watch hours and having you up through the day comes from Goldie and how she supports people. Her and Masha, Mayhem and Miracles, both really inspired me and showed me the way. This is how you can support people. You need watch hours, I'm here for you. You need subscribers, I'm going to share you out. Or both. Noble says the game got rained out yesterday. Huge stadium game coming soon. Awesome. Looking forward to that. Brian said I had one banana that morning, though I shared with Turtles because he only eats not even a quarter of the size of a banana. I was on the lookout for turtles today on my walk, but did not see any. I think by the end of the week, the water's slowly warming up. They'll start coming out and getting some sun. Brian is asking how Flower is. K1 is right. Thank you. Appreciate that I got that right. It's K1. It's a nice name. Flower saying hi. Let's see. Brian says, Cigar King, ASMR, just said I encouraged him to start making videos again. That's awesome. That's, Brian, when I go to your channel, That's what I see. You're doing burpees as well as other stuff. I know you did bench, you did some curls yesterday. I see you do pull-ups, and you jog. You do nature videos, and you give some great advice on breath work and meditation. But man, what I see from your channel is just inspiration across the board. That you're there and you're showing people this is how you can do it. This is how I did it. This is how I continue doing it. And I'm here to show you guys that not only can you survive what you're going through, you can eventually thrive. You can eventually be physically fit, you can be emotionally well, and you can be spiritually evolving. And man, that's what I see from your channel. And I'm always impressed, and I always feel blessed to be your friend and to be able to support you and have your support in return. I always appreciate your comments. K1 says, I'm doing okay, host. I'm glad. I appreciate that. Let's see. Brian is saying hello. Everyone's getting some hellos in. Always good to see. Noble says, welcome K1. Thank you for stopping by this amazing streamer's channel. I hope you enjoy your time here. Thank you. I appreciate that. The kind words. And I second that. I hope you do enjoy your time here. I'm always, you know, anybody throws a topic out there, I'm always happy to discuss it, even if I don't know anything about it. I got a complete Google machine here. We can Google anything. Noble says, I hope the workouts are going great, Brian. I checked them out, and they were great. Man, Brian's a hard trainer. I Love Speed says, you look like a Squidward. I don't know how to take that, because I don't know what that is. But you know what? Squids are a noble species. They're fierce. They can squirt ink at people. That's a highly valuable skill. So for me, the best way to take that is as a great compliment that you're calling me a fierce squid warrior. So thanks, my friend. K1 says, thank you, host. Honestly, you're like the first one that got that name right. Congratulations. Well, thanks. But you know, I did offer 2 versions. So I got it right the first time, and then I second guessed myself. Flower says, hi again, L Speed. Took me a second to figure that out. K1 says, let's see, Noble Scrabbler, thank you for having me. And thanks, Eric. Brian says, anyone heard of this new television, Authentics? I have not. And my friend Flower says, don't forget to drop a like button, everyone. Thank you for that. And this time, I did forget to say it. I Love Speed says, of SpongeBob. I've never actually seen an episode of SpongeBob. But the people that I know who like SpongeBob love SpongeBob. Been watching it forever. Been watching it for 20 years. So I'm going to have to check that out. Our friend C. Peyton is here, saying hello. Hello, C. Peyton. How are you? Brian is saying thanks to Flower. I Love Speed says, you never watch SpongeBob? No, I don't watch a whole lot of TV. And I haven't for a while. I actually haven't really watched anything at all for well over a year. And then before that, I was sort of selective on some of the stuff that I watched. But I will have to. I'll look for a YouTube clip for it. I Love Speed says when you watch SpongeBob, you will see who the Squidward is. I'll look for a clip, or maybe I'll just Google after this. Brian says, I just wondered if anyone heard of Crew Television Authentics. They just sent a message here on YouTube. I have not. Let's see. I just scared my cat off. Doesn't like, makes me wonder. We adopted her when she was 10, her and her sister, and she still had her for 2 years. Still a little skittish. Makes me wonder what her previous life was, and hopefully she is coming here after 10 years. I always hope that she is happy here, has a happy home, and we do our best to make sure that she is. And see, Peyton is saying hi to Flower. And Noble Squirrel says, you're always welcome to the channel. It's K1. He's such a welcoming person. I do my best. And honestly, everyone is welcome. I have, I actually banned one person ever. This was a day or two ago. And it was necessary, unfortunately. Had they just put up a message once, man, maybe even twice, that would have been fine. But it was the same message over and over and over again. It was interrupting the stream. We were having a great conversation between all of us. Flower says, your PFP soul jump scared me. Oh, Peyton. It's the doll. K1 says, thank you for Noble, and thank you, the host, for having me. Actually, our pleasure. See, Peyton, that's awful nice of you. Do you want me to change it, Flower? I can. That you would even consider that is pretty awesome, pretty amazing. Brian, I still have, it is what it is up here on the screen doing some burpees, and he's now putting on a chain around his neck, getting that extra resistance. Still doing 2 pumps. Brian says, maybe I'll try a live workout sometime. You said you didn't like it as much, Eric. I don't like it, but I don't have the technology to make it look good. In this dingy basement, bad lighting. I got somebody sleeping in the room next to me when I'm doing it, so I don't want to be too loud. It might be better for you. Honestly, the burpee aspect of my channel, nobody comes to see a upper middle-aged, bald, hippie Yogi, half naked, doing burpees in his basement, and I can't actually blame him at all. What I'm really enjoying is doing the nature shorts. That's become a huge passion. And coming here and doing the live streams. I've actually become is there a term for it? Am I a live streamer? I generally avoid terms as a whole. Just a label. Always ready to expand in whatever direction my heart tells me to expand to. And more, I'm living my heart. I'm living my life from that heart center and allowing myself to be guided. It's almost like a continuous surrender that life is going somewhere with or without me, with or without my willing participation. It's much easier when I surrender because, man, God knows I have made a mess of my life in the past. Thinking that I knew best, even when it was so glaringly obvious that I didn't know best. That's the difference between living an egocentric life, and even when you meditate, and even when you're approaching all of that from ego. I'm using meditation to be spiritual. I'm using meditation to be more concentrated and successful. Instead of surrendering to meditation and allowing your heart to expand and then guide you through life. Your heart center isn't separate from life itself. It's like Carlos Castaneda said, put your hand on your heart and simply ask, does this path have a heart? And you'll know the answer. And then you'll know exactly what to do. Flower says, Peyton, no, it's fine. I'll get used to it in a while. Brian says, hey, Eric, what breathwork patterns are good for fasting? I heard a guy talking about it and helping, but he didn't explain which ones. My own opinion would be something slower. Not doing something like breath of fire, which is a stimulating breath. Anything that has short breaths is going to put you in that sympathetic nervous state, which is fine in the morning or before you work out. But through the day, I think you want to be more in that rest and digest, the parasympathetic nervous state. So I would do alternate nostril breathing with or without a internal breath hold. So you breathe in through your left, plug that up, breathe in through your left for a count of 4, and then you could hold for another count of 4, or for a count of 8, or for a count of 12, or for a count of 16. I would recommend starting low, and through the weeks you add up until you get to 16. And then you exhale through your right for a count of 8. Then you breathe in through your right for a count of 4. You close off, you're using the Vishnu mudra. So you breathe in, you breathe out, you breathe in, and you breathe out. Breathe out for a count of 8, and then you repeat. That would be 1 round, 5 rounds. Or just a simple breath of breathing in for 4, exhale for 4. Or even box breathing. Just things that keep you nice and relaxed, because you want to be saving your energy for stuff like your workouts, for your jog, for that kind of stuff. You don't want to expand your energy specifically. When I say energy, I'm talking about prana, your pranic energy. You don't want to burn through that with your breath work while you're fasting at the same time. Peyton says, I don't really mind, Flower. I want you to be comfortable. And Flower says, no, it's completely fine. Man, I love the kindness that you guys are showing each other. Noble says, I don't think you look like Squidward or sound like him. He's kind of a mean voice. Your voice is very pleasant. And you look more like Andy Dick in the movie The Army Now. You mentioned that before. I haven't looked at that. The amazing thing is, every so often, I get someone coming in and they say, and this might happen to a lot of people, you look like this person, or you look like that person. And 4 or 5 people might say, and none of them are the same, and none of them look like the other person. So it always sort of makes me laugh when I think about that. See, Peyton says, okay. Brian says, yeah, I love the nature shorts. Maybe you could do live with the nature videos too. There's so many long stretches though, where we don't see anything. And sometimes as we're wandering through neighborhoods, getting from one spot to another, there'll be traffic sounds, lawnmowers, leaf blowers, an occasional siren, kids playing. So I think it might be noisier than it would be like noise, and then broken up by a really awesome nature site, and then noise again. Flower says, I like how I randomly found you while scrolling through live shots. Became one of my favorite YouTubers. Well, thank you. You know what? And I'm really glad that you did find me here. So who are your other favorite YouTubers? Noble says, have you worn glasses your whole life? Actually, no. For a long time, though. For maybe 30 years. Now, these aren't my regular glasses. Regular glasses that I wear here, but they're bigger than I generally wear. But I like them because it helps block out the lights from the computers and the screens. So I reserve them for this. My regular glasses are smaller, as you can see. I think you can see. And I have 3 or 4 pair. I even have, not to reveal my age, I actually even have a pair of bifocals, but I don't like them at all. Noble says, you think Milk and you will ever get together again? We're actually together. We're together in our way. The question, I guess, maybe, do I think we'd ever get married again? And I think maybe both of us are past that marriage point. I never say never. I never say never to anything that Milka asks me, although she would say that I probably do, that I'm stubborn and set in my ways. I'm not stubborn. I am set in my ways, but I'm not stubborn. So, but we've never really been apart. The day we got divorced, we went out to dinner. We weren't celebrating, but we also knew it wasn't the end of whatever was going to happen. So it's nice knowing you can go through literally anything with someone. The worst things have happened to both of us through the course of our relationship. You know, we have both lost loved ones. We've gotten divorced. We've had other issues. She went to war. She actually went to war. And I stayed home and took care of my stepdaughter, as well as my mother and my father. My mother had Alzheimer's. My father had a stroke. Stressful time for all of us. But going through all of that, and we're still here, and we're still standing side by side with each other, what more could you ask for in a relationship? I've had relatives who were married that were barely on speaking terms. I consider myself extremely fortunate to having Mocha in my life. And we're always redefining the terms of what we are to each other. The love itself stays constant, but I guess the definition of what we present to others is not always changing, but there's a bit of flexibility in there. That was a great question, Noble. I appreciate you asking that, because quite a few people are curious about. They've heard me mention wife, ex-wife. My preferred term, I call her my soul companion, because we walk together. C. Peyton says, I don't like bifocals, but I need new glasses. Yeah, they give me a headache, actually. I can't decide where to put my focus on. I keep going back and forth, and it's distressing. Noble says, when you both split, how long did it take you to get close like you are now? Well, like I said, the day of our divorce, the evening, divorce in the afternoon, in the evening, we went out to dinner. Took a little bit of I'm not sure what the word, not forgiveness. Um, I'm in a fortunate place, and I've been in a fortunate place where um, forgiveness comes easy. I'm going to use my favorite quote that I throw out often from Mark Twain, that forgiveness is a fragrance released by the violet upon the heel that has crushed it. Forgiveness is instantaneous, but it's instantaneous in the heart. It takes the mind and the ego a bit to catch up with that. When you think about it, when you think about um, it's the fragrance from the violet upon the heel that has crushed it. The heel crushes it, and instantaneously is the fragrance of forgiveness. It's the same with anything that occurs in our life. It's instantly forgiven because it's already over. Life, reality, love itself, unconditional love. And if we equate reality with unconditional love, then it means unconditional, just that. It's the mind and the ego that puts in those conditions. I'll forgive that, or I'll forgive this, or whatever. And unconditional love itself, which stems from the heart, not the mind, has already moved on, is already embracing. So when you begin to live your life from that heart center, what happens, happens. Doesn't mean I'm not by any means enlightened, but life's gotten easier for me that way. I still get caught up in that ego mess, but the heart always calls me back in, and there's that at once I'm at ease and able to keep going. Flower says, Tommy in it, am I saying that right? Clown Pierce and Solster. I think I spelled the last one wrong, and maybe more, that I have a bad memory. I might have to check them out to see what my YouTube competition is here. Which I'm just joking, because there's no competition. It's another great question, Noble. And honestly, I'm open to talking about anything, any question anyone has. C Pro says they drive me crazy. Yeah, I can't get into the bifocals at all. I'd rather change my glasses back and forth, to be honest. My friend the Jay Jordan is here. How are you? Hey, I'm doing great. I do want to say, because there's some new people here, follow the Jay Jordan. The Jay Jordan is the inspiration for me doing live streams and just being authentic. Just being authentic and being creative. He redefined what YouTube is for me. From just doing a burpees channel to saying I'm going to put out some of my reading, I'm going to do live talks, and I'm going to talk about whatever with no agenda, just be myself. The Jay Jordan is a talented musician, songwriter, a great athlete who does burpees, body weight, running, walking, all kinds of stuff. Step aerobics, boxing, you name it. It is a valuable to have in your, not to mention an all-round good friend and supportive guy who will support your channel. So guys, definitely go visit the Jay Jordan. Several shorts throughout the day, several videos throughout the day. Always has a live session of his workouts. Invites you to come along and to give it a try. So I definitely needed to say that. Can't put out enough good stuff for the Jay Jordan. Flower says, wait, Mocha, your ex-wife, forgive me if I'm wrong. Yes, Mocha is my ex-wife. She's my ex-wife, but in actuality, she's not my ex anything. She is my present person, my present soul companion. Scola says, yes, he promised us in the future he will explain the whole story between them. I need to make sure, everything is cool. I don't want to reveal anything that Mocha isn't cool. Maybe sometime I can get her to, we'll go down in the kitchen and we'll do a kitchen table talk, and we'll put as much as she's comfortable sharing out there. Goldie says 80 more minutes of work to go. Not too long. You can do it, my friend. What's the total count for pizzas now? And sandwiches? Flower says, I thought it was his sister. You mentioned that, and she said, definitely not sister. C. Peyton is saying hi to Goldie. C. Peyton connected to Jay Jordan. Man, I hope everyone does. Noble says, I can't wait for him to read that. I think it would be valuable for a lot of people. You always get to redefine what your relationships are. No one has to be an ex something because they become something else. It's up to you to decide, so what are we going to become? What are you going to become? Friends? Lovers with benefits? I don't know, whatever. You get to decide. And in actuality, you don't even need to decide. It doesn't need to become something. It can just be. And that's what I would say it is with Mocha and I. Would I consider her my girlfriend? Asked Noble. No. Because again, that would put some kind of label that right now just doesn't seem to belong to us. She's more than a girlfriend. If I had to put some kind of label, I would keep coming back to soul companion. She is the person that I'm walking through the rest of my life with. And we've walked together for coming up in 23 years soon. And when you can go through all of that and still be side by side, it's a pretty amazing thing. And you don't want to, certainly don't want to mess it up. And I've come close to messing up. I'm better at it now. In the 1990s, I messed up every single relationship that I had. I drank myself out of cars, relationships, jobs. As I mentioned to It Is What It Is, Lewis, though, amazingly that I drank myself out of jobs and out of cars. I've wrecked cars. I endangered people. I ruined relationships. I strained friendships. And yet I never missed a workout every day. So talk about screwed up priorities. I'm fortunately glad. I'm fortunate that I survived the 90s and most of the 80s for other reasons. But some valuable lessons during that time. And what amazes me is how I went from being that drinker every single day, and in an instant, literally an instant, became a non-drinker. That I've been telling this story, I think almost every day, almost every live stream. And for me, it's a valuable story to share. It shows, one, the importance of having an epiphany to help you quit whatever. Because the truth is, I didn't quit drinking. It just stopped. I became someone who didn't drink. I was drunk. Full disclosure, I was pulled over, drinking and driving. This was in 1999. And I saw the siren behind me and pulled over. I saw the cop getting out of his car. And I had this clear thought that didn't feel like my own thought. almost felt like it was given to me, that said, you know, if you want, you never have to have another drink again. And I almost felt like I was completely sober, although obviously I wasn't. But in my mind, I felt sober. And I don't remember saying, that's what I'm going to do. I just knew that I was done. I was almost relieved. The police officer, who was an off-duty state trooper, couldn't have been kinder, couldn't have been nicer to me. Almost like he was just part of this greater picture, because he even said he was off duty. He barely saw me swerve. I wasn't driving that far. That's not an excuse. And it occurred to him to just keep going. You know, he had picked up some food for his family. This was mess up his entire life, or his entire night. He was just going to keep going. And instead, he's like, I better check it out. Who knows what would happen? And I never had a drink again. Never really even wanted to drink again. I went to bars a few times to see if I could still have that social aspect, and I was not the same person. Didn't belong there. I didn't enjoy doing the things I used to do. And all of that happened in an instant. That's the power of grace. Had I decided to quit drinking, I would have had to grit my teeth and go to meetings. All good things. If you need to go to meetings, by all means, go to meetings. But whatever it was, something shifted, and I became someone else, or maybe another version of myself. If you believe in the branching philosophy of quantum physics, that in these life-changing moments, there's another reality in which I didn't quit drinking. I'm living that alternate reality now, and there's another alternate reality where I continue drinking, and maybe I died in a car accident, or maybe I hurt someone and I couldn't live with that and did some harm to myself. Who knows? I'm certainly glad for this reality right here, and the life of sobriety that came to me after that. Sorry for that little detour down memory lane. Goldie says, hi to lovely C. Peyton. C. Peyton is connected to Noble. That's awesome. I love for people to be able to make some connections here. Goldie says the sandwiches was the only that big order. Wow, one big order for that. That's a lot of sandwiches. Flower said, that's why Mocha had your last name. Yep, and that's why I thought it was your sister. Here's the thing. In court, when the judge is reading off the conditions for the divorce, and they said Mocha Colbert, which is her maiden name, and she said, Judge, can I change that? And the judge says, what would you like? And she said, I want to stay Mocha McCarty. To me, that was a huge gesture. Just melted my heart. Goldie says, pizza are nearing 200 total. Wow. Man, that's a lot of pizza. Squirrel Sniper says, greetings, beautiful souls from across the pond. Man, I really love how you guys come into a chat. Squirrel Sniper's beautiful souls, and Goldie's beautiful people. All of you have this such unique and gentle ways of coming in. Always putting your kindness out there first. And that makes a huge difference. You know, when that happens, everyone's immediately at ease. You know, you're in a place where kindness is readily available. It fills the space. I get that when I go to Nobles every time. Same with the Jay Jordan too. And the same with Brian. I'd love to see Brian do a live session and just talk about his experiences. So I said all that, and I don't think I said welcome, Squirrel Sniper. So welcome, Squirrel Sniper. I appreciate you being here. K1 says very much true. Flower is amazed at 200 pizzas. Yeah, that's a lot of pizza. I don't know if I've ever seen 200 pizzas through a course of, probably not even a course of a year. Noah says, Goldie, how do you eat 200 pizzas? Be safe and chew your food slow. You know what? A better question, how do you make 200 pizzas? That's an awful lot of work. Flower saying hi to Squirrel. Noble says, hello, Brian Lane. Great burpees you got there. Yeah, Brian is we had our friend, it is what it is, Lewis up there doing burpees. He's very fluid. It is what it is. Brian, he's fluid as well, but he's got power to spare. When he comes up out of the burpee, he looks like he could just keep on going. Peyton is saying hi to Squirrel. And Brian says, thanks, Noble. And great baseball games you're announcing. He's got the voice for it, for sure. Squirrel Sniper says, to be the prodigal son, one must break patterns. This is true. It's an interesting perspective, one that we might not actually think of often. What I love about the prodigal son is the availability for our return home. That in truth, when you have that kind of home that the prodigal son had, then you're never estranged. You're always at home. In Buddhist psychology, I would relate that to what they call our innate nobility. That nobility is within us. Use the example of the story, true story actually. There was, might have been in Thailand, a great Buddhist statue carved, or so it appeared, and it was hundreds and hundreds of years old. It was in a temple for caretaking to protect it from further damage, but it was cracking more and more, and someone was cleaning it, and they saw this bigger crack, and they looked in, and they saw this golden reflection shining through, and they peeled the clay off of it, and it was a solid gold Buddha statue, hidden for all those years. And that's basically a metaphor. It's actually a true story, but it's also basically a metaphor for our own nobility, that we're in the mud of ego and the busyness of life, all that stuff that just keeps us covered up and unable to shine forward, but it's not who we truly are. It's the same with the prodigal son, who believed that he was estranged from his home, estranged from his father, and yet he was always welcome. He could always return home. I wrote about that decades ago, that reminding myself that long before original sin, we lived in original innocence. And we can always return to that. Original means still in place. Nebo says, and I just say hi. Yeah, I need to keep my highs short. Noble says, costs nothing for kindness. But you know what, Flower? You just say hi, but you always say hi with um, a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of kindness to your highs. So something to keep in mind. I appreciate your highs very much. And Squirrel Sniper says, costs nothing for kindness. Absolutely true. And you know what? I'm always amazed that, every once in a while you have someone come into a chat being less than kind. And I can't help but feel that, when they leave, it's a short-term energy. And then you have a crash. You can't feel very good about yourself if you're not being kind. And as Sniper said, it costs absolutely nothing to be kind. And yet, the payoff that you get in return is immense. You feel better. And it carries on. So I always like to think that to make this a kind-centered place to visit and hang out and ask questions and talk about whatever, and that when people go their separate ways, everyone's going to feel good and they're going to spread. It's going to have that ripple effect. I've mentioned before the Maharishi effect, named after the founder of Transcendental Meditation, who said, if one person in a family meditates, everyone benefits from that one person's effort. If 1% of a population meditates, the entire population benefits from that meditation. So that's the Maharishi effect. We have, I think, 8 people in the chat. Just a few people contributing. If everyone's kind, think how wide that impact is, how far it goes. Everyone goes on their own channel and they put out a little more kindness, and it just keeps going and it keeps going. And it offsets any unkindness in the world. C. Payton says that is right. Squirrel Sniper. K1 says, you all take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for coming in, my friend. I appreciate you stopping by. Brian is saying, thanks to K1. K1 says, host, take care. Enjoy your Sunday. You too, my friend. Flower says, I swear that Mr. Beast is there. Mr. Beast. Where have I heard that name before? Okay, one says, thank you, Brian, so much. Squirrel Sniper says, just trying is key. I agree. And just the effort. You get the benefit of kindness just by the effort of kindness. Another quote I love throwing out when I have the opportunity, even when I don't have the opportunity, I find an occasion to throw it out. St. Catherine of Siena, all the way to heaven is heaven. And it becomes an all-inclusive statement. All the way to kindness is kindness. Or, who was it? I'm going to paraphrase. I can't remember the original quote. There is no way to kindness. Kindness is the way. It's really so simple. Such a simple message, and everyone feels better. Noble says, thank you, Brian. I never had a job that I loved, and yet made me so nervous. I used to be deadly afraid of talking in front of people, but lately in life, I'm trying to face my fears. You know what? I wouldn't have guessed that about you. Your live stream sessions just seem so natural. And you make this effort to put everyone at ease across the board. Noble says, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. This is true. I worried about that when I decided to go live, because I am not a public speaker at all. I would dread it. When I had to do videos of me teaching meditation and send them to my instructor, and they would, look and critique, I kept messing up, and I was only doing that in front of Mocha. I knew other people would be watching it, and I just couldn't get comfortable with it. And when I decided to just do burpees, um, and then I found myself talking afterwards, I was amazed that I was able to have a conversation looking at the camera. But since it wasn't live, you know, I felt okay. And then I started doing the live sessions and just decided, you know, be authentic, be myself. Don't be afraid to be awkward. Don't be afraid to have long stretches of silence that fall in between your thoughts. Don't be afraid to stumble over words. Don't be afraid, as Noble was alluding to, don't be afraid to be afraid. It all works. Flower says there are actually golden Buddha statues in Myanmar. Yes, there are. And that's such a... The Buddhist faith is so deep there. It's beautifully expressed. Some of my favorite teachers actually learned in Burma at the time. I believe it was called Burma at the time. Squirrel Sniper says he went to seek his fame and fortune and failed. Came home penniless. He was loved greater than the brothers that stayed, and was conformative. I often wondered how the other brothers felt about that. I believe it's explained in the Bible. I know Goldie would know for certain. Nobo says, I do have to get going. I had a great time chatting with you all. Thank you all for the great conversation. I have to be ready for my 12-hour stream. Well, we're doing another 12 hours. I was talking about you yesterday and how amazed I was. Absolutely amazing. 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. I will be there for much of it. I'll have you on as long as I can before I go to bed. I'll have you on when I go live again later tonight. And I'll even clip on, I'll put the sound on so people can hear you going live. And then I'll put you on first thing in the morning when I wake up. And remember, I wake up at 2:30 my time. So that's going to be a long time. Definitely going to get you the watch hours. Flower says, I charged my phone to 100% so that it would last for both your streams. I appreciate that. Everyone's saying goodbye to Noble. Noble says, good for you, Brian. Teeth are just an aesthetic, but your personality always rules over aesthetics. You have a great personality. He does. Did I miss something from Brian? Oh, there you go. Brian says, that's awesome, Noble. I kind of relate. I was uncomfortable doing videos because of my teeth that are messed up, but I had to jump out of that comfort zone and start. And your teeth are part of your story, Brian. They show what you've been through and how you survived and how you turned fearless in your sharing, which I admire. You share fearlessly. Not everyone can do that. So, Noble, again, thank you. I appreciate you being in. We're going to say goodbye here, too, in a few minutes. I'm going to do my second meditation for the day, have something to eat, and then we'll come back and be live again. Man, really appreciate you guys being here. Squirrel Sniper says, Mr. Beast, a young self-made millionaire on YouTube. Okay. I sort of recognize that. Didn't he give away houses? I think I heard James Gipe talk about him. James Gipe. Flower says, oh yeah, I got better at handstands and I can hold them for a little while longer. It's the power of practice. I knew you can do it. but I'm going to keep practicing. But now, arm, hand, and wrist pain. Definitely warm up. Do some wrist circles, both directions. And you might want to even think about some support. Noble says, talking to a phone is easier with me than talking to a group of people looking at me. Yeah, I remind myself of that too, because I know that discomfort talking to you guys might not carry over to talking in front of a crowd. It is what it is. It is what it is here. Sniper for wrist pain. If you can get a bucket and fill it with ice and put your hands inside there and turn it. Good advice. Flower says it is what it is. I read it in meme form again. We were just talking about you, Lewis. Flower says, wait, you know Burma? I do know Burma. Some great Buddhist teachers have come from Burma. Some great Buddhist teachers, some great Buddhist teachings have come out of Burma. Squirrel Sniper says, see Peyton, link up your channel, please. Brian says, bye guys, hope you all have a blessed day. Peacing. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you being here. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you for that. See Peyton says, I got you, Squirrel. Noble says 10 push-ups for every 10 likes. I get in shape somehow. That'll do it. You're going to get a lot in 12 hours. If anyone missed that or came in a little bit later, Noble Scrolling Traveler, click on the wrench and you can come join him. Is doing a 12-hour live stream, and through all of his live streams, for every 10 likes that he gets, he does 10 push-ups. So guys, you can get him in shape right now. Everyone becomes a personal trainer on Noble's channel. Flower says, wow, I'm surprised that you know it. Well, remember, I'm pretty old. So back then, yeah, Myanmar was Burma. And, you know, I've studied Buddhism for a long time, since I was a kid, actually. And such great teachings coming out of there. See, Peyton says, take care, Brian. And Noble says, you can see my push-up on live stream. Definitely check him out. Click the wrench. Subscribe to his channel. Hang out with Noble. It's always a good time. Talk about anything. Amazing. And he'll just keep putting out the conversation. As long as you guys want to talk, he's there for you. And if you don't like the conversation, you can always make him do push-ups. It's a win-win. But I can't imagine anyone not liking Noble's conversations. A very gracious host. Noble says he'll be live in 48 minutes. Start warming up. I'm going to be there to like. Squirrel says, can you post your channel links? I think you can click on the wrench and it'll have, and you can visit his channel. Although I'm going to stay, Noble, if you're still there, is it possible if you do post your link? let's see. Oh, and by the way, Noble needs I thought that if hey Noble, can you post a link to your channel? I thought if you had the link, if you had the wrench and you clicked on it, it would bring up their um, channel. So maybe I'm mistaken about that. Oh, I wanted to mention, don't forget that watch hours for Noble are greatly appreciated. So definitely spend some time there. Goldie says not him. Oh, she also said got to chill a little bit. It's been a record sales day. It's amazing. Noble says don't forget to ask questions and bring up topics because I love talking about everything and anything. Certainly does. And in a very entertaining fashion too. Goldie has kindly put the link there. Thank you, Goldie. Appreciate that. Noble says, if you search Scrolling Traveler, I am the only one. My videos are the only ones that pop up. I never tried to do that for me. I don't imagine there is another Yogi doing burpees in his basement. And if there is, I'm going to have to challenge them to a burpee off. And the one who gets the most burpees in a 20-minute time space wins the title of burpees in his basement. Squirrel Sniper says, cool. Flower says, link doesn't work for me. We have C. Payton's channel up. I hope everyone is friends with C. Payton as well. Squirrel Sniper says, links not working in vertical chats for some reason. Flower says, trust me, there isn't. I'm going to check that out to make sure in just a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't know how to fix that, Squirrel Sniper. I think everyone needs a link for Noble. Hey, you know what I'll do? I'm going to sign off in just a minute. Squirrel Sniper, I'm going to cut and paste Noble's channel, and in the description, soon as we end this, immediately before I do anything else, I'm gonna put it in there just to make sure that you guys can get it. Goldie says they're all right, and then we have C. Payton helping out and putting Noble. Goldie says nope, it doesn't work. So what I'll do is I'll have his link in the description. So again, as soon as it's let's see, can you try to pin this link? I will try. Squirrel Sniper said just sub Noble. Good. I'm not sure how to pin. I don't think that worked. I think I unconnected with you guys just for a minute. Goldie says in the description is perfect. Okay, so guys, we're going to say goodbye. And I'm going to do that now while it's still fresh in my mind. So if you haven't subscribed, as well, is there anyone else that's not connected that would like to connect? Let me know, and I can do that and others. So you can leave a comment and let me know, and I'll make sure to have anyone that's needed. C. Payton says, take care, everyone. You as well. Hey, thank you, guys. Man, I appreciate everyone being here today. This was a great session. We'll be back about 5 o'clock, I think. So thanks again, guys. Squirrel Sniper, C. Payton, Goldie, Flower, of course. It is what it is. And who am I missing? I Love Speed. And we had some new friends come in. Brian Lane, of course, again. Man, I know I'm forgetting someone. So anyone I've forgotten, my apologies. Again, thank you all. Take care, guys.